title is Liturgical Manuscripts of Pampakuda Konat Li-brary, an overview. The members from the well-known Konat family have been engaged in the training of candidates for priesthood at least since the last quarter of 18th century. The first members of Konat family were probably trained in Mulanthuluthi, and they founded a Melpan Guild in Mamalashiri near Pampakuda. Shibu Varghese Melpan, who died in 1822, was the last Melpan in Manuscripts of Pampakuda. We do not get any prehistory of former Melpans in Mulanthuluthi and Manuscripts and about the preservation of Syriac manuscripts. But the free will of Shibu Varghese Melpan shows he was the 17th Melpan. His predecessor, Yaakov Katana, was buried at Manuscripts. After the establishment of church at Pampakuda by Abraham Melpan I in 1825, it served as the second important center for Syriac studies in Kerala for a century. In 1879, a printing press was started with the name Kerala Devam Press by the Metropolitan Mark Julius, formerly known as Shibu Varghese Melpan. After the demise of Metropolitan, the name of the press was changed as Mark Julius Press. In the beginning of 20th century, almost all priests from northern part of Kerala were trained in Pampakuda. The most important contribution of Pampakuda Melpan Guild is the preservation of Syriac manuscripts and publication of liturgical books. Konat Melpans in different eras had been interested in collecting, copying, and preserving the manuscripts. They tried to collect them from ancient parishes of Malakal Church. Printed books were not available during those times, so there was a need to keep the manuscripts with regard to liturgical texts and church beliefs. A keen concentration and lot of time were dedicated in the Melpan Guild for copying the manuscripts. Manuscripts of Pampakuda Library in general. Around 200 manuscripts are kept in Pampakuda Library. However, one group published only the list of 169 manuscripts in his text, The Christians of Central in South India and their Syriac manuscripts. Manuscript number 33, Nomocanon of Baragoyo, belongs to 13th century, is the oldest one in the library. Manuscript number 213, Evangelion text, copied by St. Gregorius of Parimala in 1894, is the precious one among these manuscripts. About liturgical manuscripts. There are around 70 manuscripts under the title Liturgical Manuscripts. Most of them are in Sartha script. However, Western Kerala, East Syriac, Malayalam, Kharshon, and Arabic languages are used in some of the manuscripts. Oldest liturgical manuscript is number 211, Order for Confession, copied by Khadiya Rabban at Monastery of St. Mary and Mark Theodoros in Mardi in 1673 AD. Manuscript number 127, text of Kahaneta, copied by Shibu Varghese in 1678, And number 69, Sacrament of Baptism, copied in 1678 in Arabic Karshon language. Copyist is not known. Important liturgical manuscripts are: number 1, Kurbana Taksas. Around 30 anaphoras of Holy Kurbana from Antiochian Syrian Church are there in Pampakuda Konat Li-brary. Most of the anaphoras were published in Syriac or with Malayalam translation. The oldest manuscript in connection with Holy Kurbana is manuscript number 164, copied by Mar Basilius Isaac, the Maphrian of East in 1697. Order of ordination is also given in this manuscript. Another important manuscript is number 34, copied in 1749 AD by Mar Ivanus Metropolitan, who came from Antioch. Manuscript number 57, copied by Abraham Malpan I in 1833, contains the following worst Syrian anaphoras. Number 1, anaphora of St. John Patriarch, known as Scribe Joshua. Second one, anaphora of Lazar, Episcopal of Baghdad. Third one, anaphora of Philoxenus of Mahu. Fourth one, anaphora of Dionysius, Episcopal of Athens. Fifth one, anaphora of Maruta Catholicos. Sixth one, anaphora of St. James, Malpan of Betna the South. Number 2, another church. Pengito. Manuscript number 3, prayer from Kudo Shito to Great Lent, copied in 1888. Manuscript number 5, prayer for Great Lent and Passion Week, copied in 1888. Manuscript number 11, Sundays of Great Lent and Other Feasts. Manuscript number 201, 8 Sundays of Easter, New Sunday, Assumption, Pentecost, Feast of St. Peter and St. Paul, Feast of Tabernacle, Assumption of St. Mary, Feast of Cross, etc. Copied in 1891. Manuscript number 271, Feast of Saint Andrew, Mar Adai, Mar Abahai, and saints with him. Saint Kuriakos the Martyr, Moth and Moth Unity, copied in 1908, are come in the list of Pengito. Number 3, Premium. Almost all Premium works belong to 19th century. Manuscript number 13, from Kudo Shito to Great Lent, including feast and prayer of Nineveh. Manuscript number 61, Great Lent and Passion Week. Manuscript number 200, 8 Sundays of Easter, New Sunday, Ascension, Pentecost, Feast of Tabernacle, Assumption of St. Mary, Feast of Cross, etc. are the prominent manuscripts which are kept in library. Number 4, Kahanita. Manuscript number 76, Burial of Priests, Deacons, and Special Premiums from the Order of Deacons to Patriarch. Manuscript number 127, Burial of Priests, Order for making Hanan Vellam, blessing of ashes, etc. in Roman Rite are also given. Manuscript number 137, Burial of Priests according to Roman Rite are included in Hanukkah. Malika or order for departure. Manuscript number 97 and 120 are given in Roman Rite, and manuscript number 135 is given in Syrian Rite for the order of departure. Number 6. Sacrament of baptism, marriage, canonical prayer, Ekara, Statikon, consecration of oil, Audiolumso or order for confession, Evangelium, Andaratsa, ordination, etc. are included in the list of other liturgical manuscripts. Methods for preparing Ayurvedic medicines are given in some portions of the manuscripts. Manuscript number 3, copied by 8 deacons in 1888, explains the history of Bovuso Lent in Malayalam language. According to the description, this Lent was started in the Church of East at the time of Abraham Catholicos or Mafrian of Tigris. When the Muslim kings of that time tried to attack Persian virgins, all of the people observed 3 days Lent for escaping from the attack of king. By the power of Lent, king died and virgins escaped. From this occasion, the Lent was observed after the Benaha and before Nineveh Lent only in the jurisdiction of Tigris. This Lent was started on the first Monday after Benaha for 3 days only. If the Nineveh Lent comes soon after Benaha, the Bovuso Lent will not be observed on that year. Later, when the reign from Antioch was begun instead of Tigris in Malakara, the Lent got less importance because it was the reign of West. The places of Ankamali, Agaparambu, Vadakambaravu follow it with less importance till 1497 AD. Some Malayalis use the name Vada Lent instead of Bovuso Lent. Conclusion. Almost all manuscripts of Pampakuda Konat Li-brary were copied from the text of bishops or priests who came from Antioch to Malakara. Others were copied at Middle East by the contacts of Melpans. Abraham Melpan first, Yohanan Melpan, Georgius Mar Julius Metropolitan, and Martin Melpan were the Melpans who took great effort for copying and collecting these manuscripts. Among them, Abraham Melpan first and Martin Melpan spent more time for copying many liturgical manuscripts. Melpans also used the help of their disciples to copy them. Many liturgical manuscripts were collected in the 19th century because Abraham Melpan first and Martin Melpan took the initiative through various sources. Their great effort for this task is praiseworthy. These collections are valuable and will enrich the Syriac heritage of St. Christians. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Varghese. You have now the opportunity to put some questions because once
last Syriac conference, we went to Pampakuda, and I remember seeing in the display of manuscripts a homiliary, collection of homilies. It must have been a collection of homilies of perhaps the 18th century. Now, amongst those homilies, I noticed there was the life of St. Antioch. This was surprised me greatly because all the other manuscripts are very much earlier, and indeed to have a collection of homilies, including a lot of Greek fathers, from such a late date was amazing, because all the other collections belong to the 12th, 13th century, or even slightly earlier. So the survival of this genre of text was most interesting. I don't know if you've got to that far in the catalogue yet, but it should, I suppose, belong to the liturgical collection.
In the list of liturgical manuscripts, the most ancient one, 1673 AD, copied by Khadija Ramban at monastery of Saint Mary and marked by Theodoros in Maldi, is the oldest one.
Another question, if I may. Will you be publishing the catalogue in the foreseeable future?
Sure.
Good.
Published in a series of the same from the Community Research Institute.
Not yet published.
But will it be published?
Yeah. Sure. It will be published.
Will it be under Siri or under Pampakuda?
I am a research student under Siri. My topic is Cataloging of Liturgical Manuscripts of Pampakuda Konat Li-brary.
Now, it is said that there are some manuscripts from the Syriac tradition. No?
Yeah.
Among the liturgical manuscripts, is there something is there from the Syriac tradition?
Yeah.
Mention about that.
I have already mentioned manuscript number 97 and 120. The text of Anita or Anita or departed, order for departed, given in Roman Rite.
Many manuscripts of the East Syrian Rite were burned during or after the Synod of Diamond. Anything escaped and reached here? Survived.
We don't get any information about that, but most of the manuscripts preserved are after the Diamond Synod.
Gregorius from Maldi came in 1665. From that time onwards, Syriac texts were brought to India and especially to Kerala. So, during that, before Diamond Synod, the Syriac text which we used, we believe that it was East Syrian text and it was brought from Seleucus Strasbourg. So I hope that it is clear. And another one question I have to ask. Though only 4 kilometers are away from my house, Pampakuda, only once I was there, and then when I saw about the manuscripts, I became frightened from where to start. And the day before yesterday, Konat told me that anything you come and I will help you. But I have heard that most of the texts are brought from Greek tradition. And what about Manuscripts came from Maldi, and many bishops came from Maldi, and even the Manuscript Synod. Maldi, under the Syriac tradition, we were or Manuscripts is implemented to use the Undergate Syriac text. At present, I believe that we are using the Greek tradition, not Anglican tradition. Is it correct?
Anglican tradition.
That is what I am telling you.
East Syriac was in use in India, surely,
Yeah.
even before 16th Gregorius.
Yeah.
That is what he was asking. And from where this tradition has come? He says it has come from Tigris, not directly from Antioch.